Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be going through my sketches I did to prepare the character designs for the next project, Swift. These were all actually done in Blender with grease pencil with my chunky brush, which you can get for free on my Gumroad. But I actually cleaned these up and moved them to be a little bit more compact in their pages to make them look a bit nicer. And I should have seen these in a previous post, but I thought it'd be nice for me to just go through them with you if you wanted like a little bit more detail on them. So these three here were the first sketches I did. These two were a warm-up. I used references from Pinterest because sometimes if you start drawing straight away, your wrist is a bit stiff and things don't come out very well. It's always a good idea to warm up with something low pressure that you don't think has to be perfect straight away. I do really want to get back into doing more life drawing and studies because I'm definitely feeling it now when I'm trying to design characters again that I haven't done it in such a long time. I'm feeling very rusty. So these two were studies. I wanted to do a full body one and then a more face focused study. I then did this sketch, which I was like, actually, this is really cute. I'm very optimistic about where this is going. And I was like, this isn't my usual style, but it's nice. So I tried some other sketches using Pinterest for reference for different styles and things. And I was like, well, maybe we could make it look a bit different. We could try some different eye shapes and hair shapes. Originally, I was thinking of doing a cross through the eye, like the main character had faced this creature before, but as you can see, they don't quite have the same effect as this one. Usually, I don't do noses. They're one of the things that I find quite tricky to do because if your proportions aren't right, the nose does slide around the face, and if you're not consistent, it just looks odd. I avoided that because I wasn't good at it, but that is usually not the way you improve, or at least not the way I improve. So by avoiding it, I've only harmed myself. Sometimes your first sketch is your best ones. So I copied and pasted this design a few more times and then removed the lines for the hair. And then I used Pinterest again for some different hair references. Hair is also something that I haven't really practiced a great deal. I find anime styles, which is kind of what I was trying to go for with this project, very difficult. Like the volume of hair with so few lines but very nice detail is something I've struggled with, but I really wanted to give it a go. This one, I really liked the idea of the hair being in chunks and like sticking up. It gives a bit more of a wild feel. This one was too neat and precise. You're very put together. And then this one, I like this one, but when they jump, I wanted the hair to fly up. This fringe bit and these little front tassel hangy down bits, I can't think of the name, were really nice. I did some more sketches. This one looked a little bit like David Bowie from Labyrinth. This one, a little bit too Sailor Moon. This one, very nice, but again, wasn't the one. This is a variation of this one. So it was like a little bit more choppy, which was nice. And then did some more sketches because again, I was trying to get the longer hair. This I felt with the softer, very fluffy bottom part of the hair, it was too similar to my character design. I'm trying to not do the same style of hair, the same eyes, the same face over and over again because I don't want to stagnate. One of my biggest fears is that I get so comfortable with my art style that I never try anything else. And I do like trying something else because usually I get bored if I do the same thing over and over again. So next up, longer hair. Liked this one very much. I tried a choppy version, which I didn't like so much. And then I added a headband and made the hair darker in this one. I'm still not too sure on what I'm going to do for the actual color of this because in the storyboards and backgrounds, the color is very different in certain scenes. So whether I have a couple of different variations of the character during those scenes or whether I just do a single palette for the character and then slap a texture or gradient over the top is another test that I'll have to do. I then made a template for the bald character. This is super helpful to have as a base if you're going through some character designs and just trying to do something different. And so I decided that I still liked this boyish one. And I was like, well, maybe they do have long hair that comes undone when they jump. So what about if I gave them a bun or a clip? Again, too fluffy. What if we made it spiky to the sides? And this is what it would look like from the back. But I still wasn't 100% on it. I copied this design and made a couple of changes. What if we made this long but with some little cutouts so it looks a bit choppy? Liked this one. This is the up style. So I gave them ponytail and then added the little swoosh behind the neck so it looks like they've got that little extra bit of hair. So these are the three options. We have up, down, and then the back view. Next was full body, and I haven't done full body stuff in absolutely ages, so I used again a reference of just a woman standing from Pinterest, sketched out the rough body shape of the character. Now there are a couple of areas that have been removed by accident because when I was using Blender I did not tap the lock unused layers section in the layer specials tab, which meant that when I was erasing things they would erase absolutely everything. Not intentional, I promise. And then copied this and we made another sheet like I did for the hair. The arms were just going to be wings. I was like, you know what, we are done with having normal arms. This character is just going to straight up have wings. It's not going to be some dramatic reveal like I had originally planned. Just wings. So for this first one we have a robe with a waist wrap in the middle, because when she falls I wanted to get the flowing lines of the skirt. So this was probably my first design, and then I was like, I can't just go with my first design. And then tried trousers with the waist belt. At least there's going to be a little bit of movement in these trousers as they fall, but wasn't fully convinced. These are the wings together at the back, and then I was toying with the idea of like individual wings, so you'd have two larger clumps, because we are not drawing individual feathers with this. That's too much time, that's too much detail. So two larger clumps of feathers, and then we have a smaller section about halfway down the wing, which is giving the look of a very strange hand, but I liked it. So then I decided, well, what about if we went a bit more geometric? I liked the idea of some shorts underneath the skirt tunic that she was wearing, a top with a cutout here, and then some trousers. This dress, waist belt, shorts, cardigan that is tied closed with a tunic, and then you have the black shorts and the white top underneath. This is a dress with a sash at the front, but I thought that would be interfering with the wings. And then we have sort of like this open cardigan with a top, belt and shorts. And I've circled this one because this is originally the one that I liked, and I made some more designs. We went for more t-shirt and shorts, no extra bits of fabric to animate to make them look nice, so I didn't really want to go with this one. With this one I went for close trousers and then more of a loose top. Did not want that one. This one, a higher band across the top, and then a piece of fabric that went down to the knees on both sides, and then a bodysuit kind of thing, like long high trousers underneath. This one, small top, cut out, and then a flowing skirt, and I've circled this one as well because I like this one as well. This is a variation of the one that I liked from the last page, where the robe is actually closed completely. And then we have another option. I went with this one in the end, but this is the full wing design. So as I said, I haven't actually decided on colors at the moment, so I think I'll do that on the fly when I'm animating or coloring the animation. So next up was the creature design, and I wasn't 100% on this when I designed the storyboards. I knew I wanted something creepy with massive wings, a variation of our main character. I tried to incorporate a mouth with an eye, but I think it just looked very dorky. I think it was much creepier with just the mouth. I did toy with having like a couple of strips or like long feathers from the top of the head, but that didn't work. The head / mouth really reminded me of worms, leeches, the idea that this creature was on the ground in the city, either eating people or searching for something in the ground. So I then did a couple of sketches. This one, maybe they float around like dementors. Do I really want to animate legs on top of everything else? Do I really want to give them hands like this? I looked at a couple of references for vultures. This little sketch up here, do I actually make the face more like a vulture? Do I give them only one eye? No, did not like that. This was another sketch like that. So then I did this sketch, and I really like this. It's just the sort of weird cross between all of the designs in the past and then these ones where I was looking at snakes and lizards with their mouths open. The more triangular face is similar to something from the bird aspect, and I really like these little collar bits. It makes it look a little bit more threatening, because when you have soft circular shapes like rounded characters, they are, as some people call it, friend shaped. They are soft, round, safe. Characters with more pointed edges are going to be more dangerous, and it appears a lot in nature. If there are animals that are brightly coloured, if they are sharp and pointy like a knife, dangerous. Sharp teeth, pointy teeth, dangerous. You're going to get hurt. So that is where I was going with this one. The wings, softer. It's much more like a Loch Ness monster, but with wings instead. I liked that a lot more. So I did a couple more sketches of like what potentially the movement and pose would be like when they turn around from the city to look through. And I really like that. This was the design that I'm going to go with. It may change a little bit when I'm animating because it's just me working on the project. That's fine. I really hope that you enjoyed looking through these sketches and my thought process. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments, and